Elsewhere, just a day after united opposition principals put pen on paper on a crucial unity agreement, cracks appear to have emerged already. The man appointed to be the spokesperson of the opposition, Dr. Kituyi, has raised critical questions about his own role in the united opposition. In an exclusive interview with KTN, Kituyi says he is done pretending, a statement that signals trouble within an opposition already struggling to define its unity and leadership. So, what exactly is going wrong? And is Kituyi now preparing to walk away? Grace Nganga reports.
Was appointed early September 2025, Mombasa Kituyi was expected to be the voice of the united opposition, articulating its position and communicating its agenda to the country.
Not speaking for anybody.
But today, he is appearing to be questioning whether there is actually an opposition structure behind the title. Speaking exclusively to KTN, Kituyi says he is done pretending.
It has been very challenging and I cannot pretend it for too long, First of all, our attempts to set up a common secretariat basically aborted. The issues that will be the real engine of uniting opposition through a spokesperson is a conversation that has not yet sufficiently happened.
At the heart of his frustration is a structure that, according to Kituyi, never took off as initially envisaged. Plans to establish a secretariat committee were abandoned, leaving the individual parties to continue operating through their own secretariats. And that, he says, has left the united opposition without a central administrative structure.
So you call me the head of a secretariat that does not exist after months of trying, identifying properties, even putting in materials, including furniture from my own self, and then it doesn't take off. I cannot pretend that I'm heading a secretariat. Each party has their own secretariat.
Secretariat yetu tuko na majenzi na millennium ndio wanasukuma kazi hapo kwa secretariat.
The result, according to Kituyi, is an opposition alliance that exists more in name than in structure. And it is not just the absence of a secretariat that troubles him. Kituyi says there has been little joint communication from the opposition as a collective, with the parties largely continuing to issue their own statements. For a spokesperson, that presents a fundamental problem. What exactly is there to communicate if there is no agreed position?
There are not too many opportunities where we have discussed an issue across the board and said this is our joint position. That will warrant me then to call the media and say this is where we are. We did that a few months ago, but increasingly it's becoming more scarce. My position is very difficult to present to you.
His remarks exposes a deeper challenge facing the opposition as the country moves closer to the 2027 general election. Several parties may be operating under the umbrella of the united opposition, but are they truly one political formation? Who makes the decisions? Who speaks for the coalition? And perhaps most importantly, who is the architecture of this unity?
There are still fundamental problems of what is the architecture of unity. There is agreement, unanimous agreement on the importance of unity, but I don't think there's agreement on the building blocks for that unity. And that's something that is not very pleasant, but it's a reality that we'll have to deal with, because the challenge before us is much, much bigger than the egos of the individuals with the different positions. Let the opposition become one, then a spokesman will find an easy job to do.
But you're still a spokesperson?
No, just on paper. I'm not saying that I'm having any role as a spokesperson of the opposition, because once in a while we do have discussions.
Kituyi says that this is the bigger challenge facing the opposition at the moment. For now, Kituyi says he is a spokesperson without a functioning structure to speak for, and his frustration could be an early warning that the biggest battle for the united opposition may not be against the government, but within its own ranks over who leads, who decides, and what unity really means. Grace Nganga, KTN.
From the opposition to the ruling regime, and President William Ruto has begun